All or nothing thinking. It is a big problem that we see with so many people that work with us, and a lot of people actually are quite open about it. Like I struggle with all or nothing thinking, or like when we talk about it, it's like,
Yeah.
yes, that's me.
Mhm.
So what we mean by this is like you're either doing everything to the letter, 100%, or you're not bothering. One small slip up, that's a problem. I'm giving up, falling headfirst into that fucking bucket. What is the point? All or nothing thinking is harmful. It might feel helpful because the idea is, well, if I'm going to be 100%, then I'm perfect. If I'm perfect, then I'm going to get the best results possible, which seems logical.
Yeah.
But when are you ever 100%? Think of anything in life. When are you ever, like driving, you like to think you're pretty decent most of the time, otherwise you're going to crash. But with all the days, we're like, oh, how did we get there in one piece, you know? Work. Some days you just feel a bit more tired, a bit more fatigued. You're never 100%. Like, I use an analogy of like, if you were going on holiday and you forgot your bikini, you won't cancel your holiday. You know, if you got 85%, 90% on an exam, you won't be like, well, it's not 100%. So I'm resitting it, you know, even if you passed. So why do we do it with fitness? Why do we do it with our health and fitness and fat loss related goals and think if we've had one slip up, it's the end of the world? You notice this.
Oh yeah, with so many people, and I think a lot of it stems from comparing yourself to people on social media
Mm-hmm.
because you'll see, big fitness influencers. They look like they're absolutely smashing it 100% of the time, but they're not. They're only sharing the good things. They're only
Mm.
sharing the wins. Nobody is 100% all the time. Nobody's 100% like 5 days a week.
No.
It's a lot to be 100%. Like,
Yeah,
nobody.
absolutely. It is. I'm trying to thought now.
It just comes back to that thing that nobody's perfect. So, I mean, speak for yourself, but like, no,
That
nobody's
song definitely
perfect.
just came into my head.
No, no,
And I
no.
think just reminding yourself as well that your each day is not going to be the same. So one day you might be 60%, but if that's all you can give to that day, then that's
Mm.
fine.
I think all or nothing thinking stems from a low self low.
I'll start this one again.
All or nothing thinking stems from a place of low self confidence, and what I mean by that is like if you have maybe tried diets before, tried fat loss, and it's just not worked for you, always quote unquote failed, which usually is not your fault. It's the fact that you've done some sort of over restrictive diet. The second that you do something that maybe isn't quite to plan, like you've missed your steps, you've missed a workout, you've overeaten one day, happens to everyone, you internalize that and think it's a you problem. Like, well, I'm rubbish. What's the point? You've already got that inner narrative that you can't do it. So it just feeds into that. And then you just think, well, I can't do it. So then those self sabotage behaviors kick in. And that's why we work on like confidence and self limiting beliefs a lot because it isn't that. It isn't that at all. And I think the main thing to realize is everyone makes mistakes. Like Laura said, like no one's perfect. Everyone, we all fuck up from time to time. We all make mistakes. But the difference is, I think it's knowing that everyone makes mistakes, but not everyone then leads to the fuck it bucket. It's what you do about it. So there's a few things that we do to help support all or nothing thinking. And the first one is range targets. Leanne, do you wanna expand on range targets, why we do them, what they are, and like what the
Yeah.
benefit is?
So, range targets just provide a little bit of flexibility and kind of take away that strict mindset where you've got a certain number to hit, and if you don't hit it, then you've messed up. So, when it comes to like calories, rather than giving somebody a set calorie allowance, we'll give them a range. So, you've just kind of got to eat somewhere within that, and you would still be in a deficit, even if you were at the higher end of it. And again, with like step counts, it's like giving you a range target. So kind of say 8,000 to 10,000. And it just removes that kind of strictness about it. And that if you don't hit it, you've messed up. Because as long as you're getting in there, you're still progressing. You're making that progress towards your goals. And that you haven't like ruined it all.
Just taking that pressure off a bit as well,
Yeah.
because you're gonna have days or weeks where you maybe can't do, 4 workouts because you've got work deadlines or you've got no childcare or you've got something going on that means that you can't do your 4 sessions a week.
Mhm.
But can you aim for 2? Can you do something?
Yeah, and that's one thing that we always reiterate is rather than aiming to be perfect, aim to do your best.
Yeah.
Aim to do something.
Like something is better than
It's
nothing.
better than nothing.
And slow
Absolutely.
progress is still progress.
Yeah, and it's quick fix society, isn't it? We all want the results now. If we're not seeing it now, what's the point? It's like, have you ever gone to order something online, and because you can do Amazon Prime now, and it can come like the same day sometimes.
Yeah.
See, if you order it at like 5 in the morning, it can come at
Yeah, it's mad,
by
isn't
10
it?
p.m.
But then, have you ever gone to look on a website now, and it's like estimated delivery, and it's like a week, which it's not that long, but we're like, well, no, I could order it. We just expect things so
Absolutely.
fast, and I think we expect the same of ourselves. But what we need to remember, and what you guys need to remember, is because you've come to work with us, you're on a journey here to completely change your mindset, your relationship with food, relationship with the body. You know, you want to make this a lifestyle change rather than just a quick fix. Lifestyle changes, mindset changes. These are things that you've accumulated over years of your life. You know, depending on how old you are when you first started dieting or struggling or whatever, years, decades, maybe for some people. Do you honestly think that you are going to be able to flick a switch and just be this whole new person overnight? No. And
Only it was that easy.
if only we wouldn't have a fucking job if it was that easy. So I'm kind of glad it's not. So it's putting that less pressure on yourself, and I think it is that self-compassion to realize, there's common humanity in that everyone messes up. But it's not the problem; it's what you do about it. It's being able to pick yourself back up. And I think knowledge is really important around that as well. Like we were saying about, if you've gone over your calories one day, that's okay. Like if you've gone over by 400, you had a really stressful day, you didn't manage your emotions that well that day, you failed to implement some emotional strategies, that's okay. 400 calories over in the week, probably actually not going to do a right lot.
Not bad.
And realizing that, you can just, it's the law of averages. So if one day you're a bit over or you're a bit under on something, just carry on the next day and do your best. You don't need to.
Yeah.
And this, like, start again, I'll reset on Monday or I'll reset on this day. You can reset at any point. Like, you haven't ruined it. The ruining comes from the continuation of overeating or the continuation of, just start my workouts again next week. Just crack on the next day and you'll be fine.
Yeah. And don't try and compensate.
Oh, God, yeah.
No.
If you do find that, as Lucy said, you went over calories by 400 one day, don't try and compensate the next day by eating 400 calories under,
You'll
because
just be hungry and then overeat.
then you're just going to you're just going to get yourself into that vicious cycle, and then it's going to be really hard to get out of it.
Yeah.
So just draw a line under it.
Draw a
It's
line.
happened, you can't change it.
Yeah.
But what you can control is how you respond to that and how you act the next day.
And one thing I like to explain this to clients sometimes is looking at it as almost like giving yourself a score out of the day. And if you can give yourself 70, 80, like, that's all right. That's better than zero, isn't it? Like I said, something's better than nothing. 70 is better than zero. Even 20, 30, something is absolutely inherently better than nothing. And I think
But even if you did get zero, again, you leave it in today, and tomorrow's a fresh day, so you don't need to worry about it.
70 tomorrow. So it's absolutely, you won't. It's like the law of averages. If you did averages at school, didn't we? If remember you had like loads of numbers and there's like an outlier and you just got rid of it. It's kind of like that. So if you had a really quote unquote bad day where things didn't go to plan, but every other day was amazing, you'll forget about that day because every other day was awesome. Everything is awesome. But you honestly will. And I think the big thing for us is that show up and do your best.
Absolutely.
100% is not tick every box. 100% is, can you do the best of what's available to you on that day?
Yeah.
So rather than aiming to be perfect, aim to be your best on each day. That's the mindset. That's the biggest mindset shift that you can take.
If you do that, you'll be right.
You'll be right. Do your best. Fuck all and off and think. Like, fuck perfection. Like, we can even get that on t-shirts. Like, just be your best.
In fact, if you were 100% perfect, we probably don't want to work with you anyway.
Yeah,
Makes
just
us feel bad.
Yeah, no. Like, we're all about that imperfect action and, flaws over here and just owning them.